Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I am so glad you are here. Whether you are listening at home, at work, or on the go, I am always thankful you're choosing to spend a few minutes of your time with me. And boy, what a year this is. I can't believe we're already into June, halfway through the year. It does not seem possible. Weeks are not slowing down. I was really hopeful to have somewhat of a slow, relaxing summer, and that is just not how it's working out. But all good things. And that's actually what brought me to the topic that we're going to talk about today. So, recently, well, the whole year, we're focused on how to have a truly happy year. So, what can we do day after day, week after week, and month after month that helps each one of those be a little bit happier than the one before, so that by the time we get to the end of the year, we truly have had a happy year, and not just that saying at the beginning of the year of a happy new year. It is a true happy year. And that happens so fast, or it can happen so fast, and it can have peaks and valleys, and we can get going, we can have some great times, and then we can run into some roadblocks, and it can kind of push us back a little bit. And then it takes a little bit more momentum to keep going and keep focused on happiness and true joy and what we really can do to help ourselves. And so today, I really want to talk about something that's very personal to me, and it's all about falling into a slump. And I don't know if you're going through something now or if you recently have. And if you never have, congratulations. It's amazing that you haven't felt this, but I'm going through a little bit of a slump, mostly with work on the professional side. And so I've been praying a lot about it and trying to figure out, how do I overcome this? What else can I do? It's hard to be on all the time. And that's what I feel like. I feel like work is kind of spiraling. It's taking up all sorts of hours of my days and my nights, my weekends. I'm not really able to walk away. It's just constantly always something. And then you throw in summer schedules and summer activities and different things going on. And it just feels like I'm on 24/7 with no real rest and no way to really, take some time away and just be me. And so I think that's kind of what's gotten me going in the slump right now. And as I was researching, what could I do? How could I help myself? I came across a blog, and it's on the Personal Excellence site, and the author is Celeste. And there are a ton of great topics out here. If you want to check out the site, go to personalexcellence.co, and then you'll see all the different topics and resources that are out there. If you want to see the article I'm going to talk about, you can just search for the word slump, and you will see the article that's titled Why We Have Slumps and How to Get Out of Them. And there's so much in this that has hit home for me. And I thought, gosh, the one thing I know is no matter what I'm going through, whatever the situation is, I know I'm not alone. God for sure is not leaving me alone to deal with it on my own. But man, there's a lot of other people that are also feeling this way. So I thought, what a great topic for this month to get this out there. And if you're also going through a slump, or maybe if you're going to go through one this year, you can reference back to this and think about the tips and tricks that are discussed here today on how to help you get through it. So, what is a slump? This article is talking about it's temporary. It's just a period of decline. And I know I've heard slumps in baseball and slumps with a job, or a project slump or something like that. So it definitely is temporary. And it's just that time frame where you're performing a little bit slower, a little bit inefficient, or ineffective. And the problem with that, though, is it really demotivates you. And if you go through this, you feel like you're stuck. You feel like you just can't get out of it. You just can't do anything right. You just keep hitting wall after wall after wall, and you might think you make some progress, like with some simple tasks, like a task list, check the checklist type thing. But you're not really accomplishing anything big or anything you feel like you might need to be accomplishing. And that's where it can really take a tough time to work through that and to think about, how can I break through and how can I get to the other side? Because oftentimes when you're going through it, or at least as I'm going through it, it's very draining, and kind of gets into that mind shift of, oh, well, nothing that I do, is going to be worth it. I'm just not making the breakthrough. So then why even do it? Why put the effort through? And then, sometimes people just crawl into that little hole and it's, a recluse. And then it's just, well, maybe if I just sleep through this, right, I'll wake up and I'll feel a lot better about things, or things will just be in a better position. So it can spiral quickly if you don't get a handle on it, if you don't take some control of it. So that's why I started researching, because I could feel myself, the emotional toll, the physical toll, my personal family toll. I wasn't sleeping well. My mind was constantly racing, which means I'm not getting much sleep. I'm not really getting the rest I need. But then I was working so much and so many hours. But the problem is, I wasn't really putting 100% effort into those things. And it was one of those cycles I got in of, well, if I just do a little bit more work on this thing, which then ended up taking 2 or 3 extra hours, that it would just help me get through it. And then I'd be done with it and I wouldn't have to deal with it later. But the problem is, I really wasn't putting my best effort to it. I wasn't really thinking through it. And then the result of whatever it was I was doing would just open up more questions and it would just bring more work, which is exactly what I was trying to avoid. So that's what got me thinking, okay, I need some help. Where can I find some resources? And so I hope this helps you too. This article is so great, and it was talking about this person also going through something similar, and really trying to figure out what's going on. Why would they feel this way? Uh, Falling behind on projects, just feeling like they couldn't keep up with everything. Exercise is off track, diet is off track, sleeping off track, and then they fell sick. And then it's like, oh my gosh, like what else could go wrong? And then fill in the blank, something else goes wrong. So we can't stay in that cycle. If we get to that particular point, that's not productive. It's certainly not healthy. And we've got to figure out a way to get out of it. And the best way to get out of it is to uncover the true reason for how we got there in the first place. I use it all the time at work, and we talk about getting to the root cause of the problem. And it's not just addressing the effects, that we may be feeling. It's really understanding what happened, what got me here, how do I recognize that, how do I work through it, and not let myself get there again, or at least recognize it early, and then avoid a true downfall, to come with a slump. So self-reflection is a big piece of getting to the roots, taking some quiet time. I'm a big proponent of worry journals. So taking the time to open a journal, open a notebook, write it down, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, and then it's out of sight, out of mind. You let it sit for a week and you come back to it. Same day every week, same time if you can, every week. And then you go through your worry list to figure out what's still a concern, but what has already been solved. And that also helps us feel achievement and feel accomplishment of, look at all the stuff I actually did that I didn't realize I was doing throughout the week. And now I can check it off my worry journal. But then you're still going to have some things that are still there that you still need to address. So part of that is really reflecting, clearing your head, having some alone time, really thinking through things and spending some time on it. And this article, when they said they did this, they realized their root cause was they had not taken time out for themselves. And that hit so home for me. It is so, so true. I don't know the last time that I truly just took me time, that I could just focus on me, even with the weekends and different activities, even when I'm watching the kids' sports, I was still attached to my phone, still checking emails, still even having phone calls at the ballpark, and handling business. But man, I should have been there in the moment, focused on my family, focused on my kids and whatever that moment was. And I wasn't allowing that to happen. And then I would rush home and I would open the computer again, or I would work off on my phone. And it was just, just cycle after cycle. And that was 7 days a week. And that's how it's been for about a month. And I'm at the point of no more. What can I do? How do I get past this? And this answer that this article said of not taking time for themselves is exactly the root cause for me too. And there's a key phrase that they used here in this article, and it says, if you want to cut down a forest of trees, you need to sharpen your saw. And boy, have I forgotten to do that. I don't sharpen my saw very well. Even when again, like I said, with the kids' ball games and things, even when I'm at non-work related social outings, I am not focused on those things. My mind is still somewhere else, and I'm still following up on work, and I'm still completely, taken with those thoughts. So that made me think, I bet a lot of you are in the same boat. Again, whatever I'm going through, I know I'm not the only person experiencing this. And so this article asks some great questions that I want to ask you as well, because I'm sure a lot of you are also guilty of neglecting yourself. And could that be part of the reason or the root cause of a slump that you're going through, or just a little down spiral that you're going through right now? So these questions, and really think about this, add this to your self-reflection time. How many of you constantly push yourself to get things done? And how many of you constantly put yourself through heavy amounts of punishment without giving yourself a breather? So they call this a neurotic perfectionist. I know for sure I'm a perfectionist. I want everything buttoned up, done as soon as I send a project, or as soon as I wrap up something like that. I want it to be done, complete, 100%, flawless, with no questions to come back, no extra work to come back. And so I definitely know that I push myself a little bit too much, and I am putting a lot of pressure on myself to do that. So I wonder if you're in the same boat as I was. One example here that they used is, hey, have you ever driven a car? And if you have, you've probably experienced times when your car ran low on gas. And so during those times, you basically have two choices, right? You can continue driving without the intention to stop and refill, or you can stop at a gas station and you can refill your tank. Probably most of us, choose to stop and refill so that we can keep going, continue driving. And yet, when it comes to us and ourselves and how we need to refuel ourselves, we choose number one, where we just keep going without the intention, because eventually it will slow down. Eventually it will get better. One of the favorite lines I use is, this too shall pass, which is true. It will, but at what expense? And so I just encourage you, take some of the tips I'm about to tell you, to take time out for yourself. Truly find time where you can walk away from whatever the stress is, whatever the focus, whatever the anxiety is, because you're gonna get out of the slump when you can identify the root cause. And if you don't, you're just gonna keep going down a spiral, and that is not healthy at all. So some questions here that this article says: have you been so busy that you haven't taken time out to relax and unwind? Have you been busy sowing seeds rather than enjoying the fruits of your labor? Have you been putting off fun and recreation in the name of work? Have you been neglecting your needs for the sake of others, like your family? When was the last time you actually took time off for yourself? So this also says, slumps are signs that we are running low on internal fuel, and rather than resting and relaxing, many of us are doing the exact opposite. We're just continuing to push ourselves to work. That's obviously what I've been doing, and it's going to take a toll if I allow it to, if I don't take the time to truly step back and walk away and take some me time to help with my physical and my mental health. So if you're in a slump, it is a sign that you are way overdue for some personal time, and you need some rest. You need to take a day off. And yes, it may sound scary. There may be so many urgent things going on, but the world will not stop turning because you take one day off from work. So take a day, do whatever it is that you enjoy to do. This is talking about taking walks, go to a movie, go shopping, read a book, go fishing, right? Go camping, whatever it is that is your happy space. Take a day or two and just do that. Just spend some time with you, something that is important to you that you can get some true joy and happiness out of, and just allocate that, dedicate it to you and yourself and your rest and your recovery. And that's what's going to help you get out of your slump. So I'll leave you with that. I will challenge you to continue your worry journal. I challenge you to continue to seek God for his guidance and his word, his patience for you. And remember, he wants to be a father. He wants us to come to him with our worries, with our struggles, and then lean on him for what that direction needs to be. Also, I challenge you, take time for yourself. Even if it's a weekend, just take a day or two and do something that means something to you. Spend time with family or friends, or take a walk, catch a movie, whatever it is. Just reflect on you, reflect on what's been going on, reflect on the stressful piece, or pieces, what's been keeping you busy, what's been keeping you up at night. And then just be able to worry journal that or shut that chapter and really focus on, how do I move past it, and get comfortable with that. Get comfortable with having those conversations with yourself and having that reflection time, and then work through it. So those baby steps, be grateful, choose the joy. You absolutely choose your reaction to everything that happens around you. You can't help that things are happening to you, right? But you can choose how you react to them. So think about it, choose wisely, choose the joy, and choose yourself. So I will leave you with that for today. Have a very happy Father's Day. Have a very happy June, a very happy summer. And until we see each other again, take care and may God bless you.